What about the argument that Hadith must be authentic since the same people who transferred the Quran to us are the same people who transferred the Hadith to us?
The argument that Hadith must be authentic because the same people who transmitted the Quran also transmitted Hadith is not only false, but in my view it blatantly contradicts what Allah states in the Quran. Consider these verses from chapter 75, verses 16 to 19. Do not move your tongue with it, O Muhammad, to hasten with it. Indeed, upon us is its collection and its recitation. So when we have recited it through Gabriel, then follow its recitation. Then upon us is its clarification to you. Allah explicitly states that He is responsible for preserving and transmitting the Quran. Nowhere does He say the same about the Prophet's sayings. The people who passed down the Quran were merely tools Allah used, but the true preserver and deliverer of the Quran is Allah Himself, not human narrators. This is best understood through an example. When you pray to Allah to heal a loved one and they recover, who actually healed them? The doctor or Allah? Of course, it is Allah who provided the healing, while the doctor simply administered treatment. The doctor was merely a tool used by Allah to carry out His will. The same applies to the Quran. Allah is the one who preserved and delivered it to us, while the people involved were just tools in His divine plan.
Yes, I agree. There are several verses in the Quran that support your example. Allah says in chapter 17, verse 67, "And when adversity touches you at sea, lost are all those you invoke except for Him. But when He delivers you to the land, you turn away, and man is ever ungrateful." This verse perfectly illustrates your point. It is Allah who heals the sick, not the doctor. The doctor is merely a tool Allah uses to administer treatment. Similarly, as the verse states, it is Allah who rescues you from the sea, not the captain of the ship. The captain is just an instrument through which Allah carries out His will.
Yes, exactly, Omar. So the argument that Hadith must be authentic because the same people who transmitted the Quran also transmitted Hadith is completely flawed. In fact, believing this would amount to Shirk, associating others with Allah's authority. Another verse that reinforces this point is chapter 39, verse 49. So when adversity touches man, He calls upon us. Then when we bestow a favor upon him from us, He says, I have only been given it because of my knowledge. Rather, it is a trial, but most of them do not know. This verse highlights how people falsely attribute Allah's actions to themselves or others. Just as some claim their success is due to their own knowledge rather than Allah's will, many mistakenly credit the Prophet or his companions for delivering the Quran. But in reality, it was Allah who preserved and delivered the Quran, not the Prophet, not the Sahaba. They were merely tools Allah used, and He could have chosen anyone else to fulfill that role.
That makes perfect sense, Adam. I believe the Quran is the word of Allah because I have read it repeatedly and recognized its truth, not because I know or trust the people who transmitted it to us.
That's correct, Omar.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed discovering the real Islam and found the information helpful.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can continue learning more about Islam directly from the Quran.